Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another pre-market watch list where we're going to break down a bunch of stocks. So thanks again for tuning in. Do appreciate it. So give it a few minutes. Wait till everybody wakes up and strolls on in the door. All right. Good stuff. All right, good morning, guys. Don't know if the stream started. There it goes. Looks like we're online. Fantastic. All righty. So we're going to give it a few minutes. We're going to wait for a couple people to, again, stroll on in, and then we'll get rocking and rolling here. But good morning to all. What a crazy day yesterday. Just insane, right? Like, whoa. All right. So good morning to all. Today we're going to be getting started. Again, the markets basically crashed like 1,000 points for 2 days in a row. Again, not really surprising at the end of the day. What do you expect when the CDC finally kind of comes out and tells the whole world that it's a potential pandemic? So what do you expect was going to happen, right? But again, that's kind of what we've been preaching, what we've been trying to inform traders of. This is a very likely outcome, or just a very likely that we would see kind of a corrective move in the market. But yeah, we should. I thought yesterday we might try to do a one-day gap fill, but today is most likely. Looks like we're starting to see a good amount of buying pre-market. Let me pull up the market actually while I'm explaining. Right, so yesterday, big down day. Today, markets are kind of different. We're starting with a good amount of buying going in to the open here. So today I expect, based on how we've been moving pre-market, we have a stronger chance of seeing a bounce today than, of course, we did yesterday. And yesterday, the market was really sitting at a tipping point. So that's why I kind of mentioned yesterday we could see a one-day bounce to do the gap fill, but we were also sitting right on a key support level. We're actually through it, so yesterday could have also had a big down day. But yeah, I would expect today we're probably going to see a bounce in the market. We just dropped 30 points pretty much, about 30 points from the all-time high to where we're at. We basically dropped 30 points. So I would expect we probably at least have about a 15-point bounce coming from 309. So let's just call it 310. So we should have a bounce pretty much up to 326, 325. So I think it's going to be very likely that you see the markets come all the way back up to about 325. Maybe not today, maybe tomorrow, but just in general, we should see probably moves up back to 325, unless I'm just completely wrong and the market gets smoked. But in a rational, logical market, we would most likely move back up to about 325. We could obviously go higher than that, but at least to that would make a lot of sense in terms of logical market movement. So with that being said, yesterday we got smoked. Today I would expect a bounce. So again, kind of flipping more of a bias today on the market to long and watching a lot of stocks long will probably be my outlook for going into today. Okay. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? So I think we will, all in all, I think we're going to see some more downward selling pressure. I think that's going to be, I almost think it's inevitable. I think we're going to have a short-term bounce, but we're going to conclude into more selling in the market. So I really do think investors should probably brace themselves for a pretty ugly year to 2 years in the market. It's not like we haven't been expecting bad stuff to happen. We've been well underway for some negative movement in the market. So I would expect that we've probably met that point. The only way I would see the markets not going down more is if they created a vaccine tomorrow and the spread stopped tomorrow. Unless the spread actually stops, the markets are just going to get worse, is the way I see it. So anyways, what we could be paying attention to today, maybe not necessarily today, but just in general, you've been seeing a lot of activity going into like mRNA, which was a move yesterday. You saw a lot of activity in LAKE, APT. These are all stocks that are surrounding the coronavirus news. So those are just a couple of them. Maybe I'll do a video on that. But those are a handful of stocks that are looking at making vaccines that might have to do with, medical face masks, antiviral face masks, gloves, things like that. Because it's already been noted that there will most likely be a shortage of supply to medical supplies and things needed for the virus. Just not that it's going to get that bad, but just as a precaution, the amount of medical wear needed it's probably going to exceed the amount of supply that maybe even have now or can be made through just typical supply chain management. So with that being said, you've been seeing a lot of movement in some of these kind of medical field stocks. So maybe I'll make a video on that one day. But APT, mRNA, and LAKE are all of kind of some stocks that were moving yesterday. And there might be more. I'm just pointing out a couple that really were prominent yesterday. What do you mean? I just started trading. Well, I couldn't explain it. I'm not sure exactly what you're confused about, but yeah, what is it that you don't understand? And maybe I can help you out there. Okay. TVIX. So again, when it comes, not that TVIX won't see any sort of good movement. I would just be very hard pressed to see it have any sort of day like yesterday. So if you're going to look at something like TVIX is a great stock or a great ETF to use for hedging. To be honest, they're not really let me rephrase this. Pretty much, if you're going to invest in something like TVIX, it's a leveraged ETF, which comes with more extreme volatility. So if you're going to be using something like TVIX, pretty much it will only be good as long as the markets are going down. As long as volatility is going up, TVIX will be great. As soon as volatility diminishes, it gets smoked. So that's kind of the backwards thinking. That's the issue we have with a lot of traders, is they believe that just because the stock market goes down, that TVIX has to go up, and that's completely false, because that's, like, again, the most basic understanding of it. But that's not it. It's when volatility increases, TVIX actually goes up. So if the markets are going down, but they're going down not in a very volatile fashion, then TVIX won't really go up either. So you might see the markets are actually kind of going down, but then TVIX isn't doing anything. And that's because there's really just no volatility in the market. So TVIX is great to hedge against volatility. And things are usually going to be the most volatile when they're going down, which happens to be when the market's going down. So, the market moves before 9 a.m. because that's just pre-market trading. So people are still trading that. Nice. So, anyways, I think that with the way APT is moving, mRNA, those could be some interesting volatility movers today alone. You had a couple earnings reports. I'm not going to really touch on the earnings reports today. I think it's LEDS. LEDS is a penny stock that kind of popped up this morning that I was going to watch. Still going to watch it. But ultimately, the long is going to be over 306. If LEDS can successfully get over 306, $3, 306, that's where you're going to have a good pop on this one. There's not any news on it that I can see from today. So, this is one that's just kind of popping up. Lighter volume, no news. Is it really going to give you the move you want? Maybe. So, again, it's right at previous resistance. So, it's possible, but this probably won't break out today. So, if you're watching this, do be careful on it, but only consider it a play if it's getting over the 305 to 306 area. Okay. Exactly. Yes. Just because markets are down doesn't mean there isn't money to be made. Absolutely. Yeah. So again, like if you just go and look at in days like this, I always say, like, if you just go look at the market, you'll see that the markets are pretty much doing that of the SPY, right? So they're going to go down when the market goes down, and if the market goes up, they're probably going to go up. So if you're looking at, AMD, or if you're looking at Nvidia, pretty much any of these stocks, anything that really took a big hit yesterday will probably perform, decently well as long as our markets improve today. If the markets don't improve, then yeah, you'll probably just have somewhat of a stagnant day. We could also see that. We might just see a day of consolidation in the market where the markets don't really do too much, and you might just have sort of a slower consolidating day. That's a very strong possibility as well. SPCE, yeah, so that we've already known is a bubble, for sure. It's guaranteed. It's guaranteed. Let me double check something. Yeah, either way, I mean, SPC is not something you probably want to be buying and to hold at these prices. It's definitely possible that, or would have been that one. It could have been that one. Hold on. I might have missed that. Let's see. Yeah, you might be able to argue that. That would be A, B, C. Yeah, I'd probably be more bearish on SPCE for now. Just in general, yeah. I mean, with the way the market's been moving and the earnings, I mean, yeah, you're probably just gonna want to be short bias on SPCE for now. I don't really see a reason to be long bias. LEDS, you're probably not going to trade it. That's most likely the plan for LEDS, is to not trade it, because it's most likely not going to have that great of a move just by looking at it. There was a few other penny stocks this morning that, I mean, I guess we could touch on. Like COCP from yesterday, is that still up? A little bit. Started to come down some. So yeah, I'd probably be bearish on that for right now. IOVA was some crazy stock from yesterday. Don't even worry about that. Yeah, I was seeing a couple random stocks up this morning, but nothing that really piqued my interest too much. I know there was another one. What was it? LP or TNXP. Yeah, if you look at TNXP today, that was, again, another penny stock that was just kind of pushing straight up. So you could follow this one. It looks like it's got some news on it. It's up pretty big so far. It's already been diverging for a good portion of the morning, so it's already kind of selling off. I'm not crazy about it. It's probably high in its cycle right now, so I'd have to wait for it to come down. Yeah, I mean, that's another possibility. But again, I think today is just, I'm not even really going to focus too much on penny stocks. It's just going to be a very straightforward day. Watch market and watch large cap stocks. Would you recommend SLV or GLD? Yeah, SLV, GLD are definitely going to be good long-term plays. If the markets really get smoked, then they're going to go down first, because everything normally goes down in a market drop, a big drop. Normally all asset classes get hit to a degree. because everyone panics and thinks the world's ending. So you're always going to get an initial drop, but then once people kind of rationalize the situation, the things that make sense to be in end up picking up fairly quickly. So gold and silver will be those plays where it's like, if the world was ending, yeah, I mean, that would make sense. Well, not really ending, but yeah, so gold and silver are going to be good long term, most likely. And so that's what I'm holding long term right now. Disney looks pretty bearish right now. Disney ultimately is bearish, but like I said, guys, it's all about the market at this point. Most of what you're looking at, most of these moves that have happened were because the stock market, right? Because the market started dropping, everything's kind of going down. So I keep repeating myself, but it's literally the same thing. It's just follow the Dow Jones, follow the Nasdaq, and follow the S&P 500. And if those all start to have really good, start taking off long on the day or tomorrow, then Disney and all those things are going to watch long. That's what I'm saying, is we're in a market where that's the only thing you do is watch the market. That's kind of the market you're in for right now. Short everything? Yeah, I would say it's good to be long-term short on some things right now. Absolutely, I could stand behind that. What else? I mean, that's pretty much it. There wasn't really anything too much else I was really looking at today. I mean, like I said, if you go look at all the stocks, they've all kind of done the same thing, kind of up, kind of down. So I think it's going to be a pretty straightforward day here. If things keep going down, I'd be honestly pretty impressed. But if they do, then bring it on, whatever. Just another day of selling. The more things go down, the better they're going to become to buy. But COCP. I'm probably going to have to go with a no-go on this today. It's already had a really nice move. Again, anything can happen, but I mean, you've already gone up and you've already topped. You have a bearish divergence already. So I'd say no, because you're already diverging. You have a bearish divergence on the stock since the first day. So no, you should kind of expect a down move on that today. So you're probably not going to want to trade that long bias. You asked about Workhorse, WKHS. Workhorse trending up right now. It's on over, under, over. Yeah, you're kind of at trend line resistance with that. To break that. Probably not. Yeah, I gotta have to say, I would be on standstill for Workhorse. I just don't really see that as an amazing play right now. Yeah, I mean, you had great dips here and here, so you're kind of missing the dip side, and you're kind of buying high, in my personal opinion there, so I probably wouldn't be behind Workhorse. Yeah, 294. Yeah, I can see why you have that target. I had a target of 294 to 292 to 293 as well in the markets. Basically, I wouldn't be all that surprised if the markets go down. I mean, I kind of would be surprised if they went down to 292, 293 in that area, but I'm prepared if they do go there. I know exactly what I'll do if they go there. But yeah, that's a possibility as well. Yeah, Tesla's going to need a very good catalyst for it to break 1,000. You're already seeing Tesla get sold into like crazy. So again, I would still be on the bear side of Tesla, as I always have been, up at those prices. Yeah, I mean, but what do you expect, right? I mean, it bubbles out, goes like 1,000, and then the markets start to tank. I mean, you should kind of expect that to inevitably be happening, right? But Tesla's basically hanging on by a thread right now. I mean, that thing is actually, I would say that's probably very close to breaking down. But Tesla, I would imagine, is going to end up being could be a very good short here pretty soon, because you kind of have like a head and shoulders forming right here. So if you get something maybe like that, and then you'll just get smoked. So that's a very possible outcome there because you have the head and shoulders. And again, if the markets don't ever pick up and they keep kind of just getting smoked, then yeah, Tesla won't hang on for very much longer. Yep, that's pretty much the answer for everything. Watch the SPY today. TDOC, I think that popped. Yes, I seen it move. It hit my scanner yesterday. That was it. Yeah, I was like, I think I was looking at. No, never mind. This wasn't what I was initially thinking. So yeah, it looks like there was. Yeah, that's an amazing move, really, from 113 to 125. Darn, wouldn't have that been awesome? But yeah, so I mean, it does. It just looks like yesterday they might have got some news that TDOC appoints healthcare system leader Catherine Jacobson to board of directors. Someone got appointed board of directors. Maybe that was a good thing. So I don't know. That's moving. You could watch it. I don't have anything formed the right way that I would be trading it. You're kind of on the high side. So intraday playing, I could get behind. Swing trading, dip buying, you're too late. Well, yeah, absolutely, Billy. The markets, Billy's absolutely right there. He says the virus is being used as a catalyst for the market to drop, which is 100% correct because the markets always want a reason, always need a reason to make something happen. Right? So in order for you to believe that markets, and that's just it for the system to believe that there's a reason why things do things, there's always going to be a catalyst, but nonetheless, the markets are already high. They've been high in their cycle. If you're looking long term, or if you're even looking macro, the markets were high in their cycle. They were due for a correction anyways. So this was just the perfect news to drive it down anyways, which then could lead to something worse. But yeah, inevitably the markets did use the coronavirus news to drive the markets down to create a better buying price because we were high in the cycle. So from a risk to reward, doesn't make sense to be buying high in the market. Now you're kind of getting back into the buying phase, at least for a short-term bounce, I'd say. Bobby, yep, you're right. Yeah, their median regression's probably around the 650s. As per why I kept saying that I won't buy it unless it goes down to like 650. That's where my buy point's at, is 650 on Tesla, or like 7 to 6. It depends, but probably around like 650. I guess it really all depends on how it moves here soon. But yeah, Billy's absolutely right about the virus thing. And then who is Bobby? Was it Bobby? Bobby's right about Tesla's price action. 650 is the buy right now on Tesla at 650. GE decelerating, declaring bankruptcy. I don't know anything about that unless that like just happened. Yeah, I don't see anything about that. No, so can't really say that. Mm-mm. Quentin, yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah, but see, then Bobby, you also got to remember, like when we say, be greedy when others are fearful, and then be fearful when others are greedy, right? There's macro and there's long term. If you think about it in terms of like long term, the markets have been greedy for a long time. Everybody's been in the dip buy phase. Buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. It'll never fail, never fail, never fail, never fail, never fail. We're pretty much getting to the point where I think that's going to fail. But yeah, we've been living in this market of extreme greed. Factual. It's just been extreme greed in the market. So from like a longer term perspective, yeah, I've been very fearful because everyone around me is on this very euphoric stock market high where they believe everything's going to keep going for forever. I got high school buddies asking me what stocks to buy, so it tells me that everybody's starting to get involved in the market. So we've reached our top. From like a psychological standpoint, we've definitely reached our top. To me, it makes sense. we've been at it. We've been at a top. I mean, that's basically it. From the big picture, I mean, we've been at the top for past couple of years. So I think the markets have been ultimately greedy. So I think now is actually still the time to be fearful, in my personal opinion. We'll see. We'll see. You never know for sure. And that's exactly it. You just ride the wave. That's all you do. You ride the wave, and when you know things are getting too high, you become a logical investor. You don't buy things high. That's just it. Ride the wave, and you take your foot off the gas pedal when you know things aren't in your favor in terms of risk to reward. And we've been seeing a market where people are just flooding in at the top, thinking that somehow it's very risk oriented when I just don't see it. So what time we got? 8:59. So all right, yeah. I mean, that was a good day. We'll end it there. We'll see if we get a market bounce. Market's rejecting pretty hard here right now, but we'll see. It should be another fun day. All right, guys. Everybody, take care. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll put the scanners on as soon as I close the stream down. All right, take care.